Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, the Cuban edition, where last episode we implemented this beauty right now. It is a work of art, boys, our first ever passenger line in Cuba. Now, it's very limited, it's very basic, and it's our first iteration of something that will consistently keep changing as we continue. This looks a little bit wild right now. This is what we were able to implement in the last episode with the limited budget that we did have available, from Havana to San Cristobal all the way to Pino del Rio. And so far so good. It actually replaced our two vehicle lines, which now it makes considerably quite a big chunk of cash money moolah. But now I've had my taste of trains, it kind of makes me want to do some more expansions in Cuba. Now, what I'm going to do is, because we are going to be struggling for money for quite some time, it's going to be a long grind to get enough cash to be able to do big infrastructure builds. I've got a plan. What we're going to do is we are going to try and reform what we currently have set up with more trains. I know that sounds kind of wild and sounds kind of expensive, but basically I want to try and increase the production on Cuba so we can then triple, quadruple the exports coming out of Cuba currently going to Mexico. And that is what's going to make us have a ton of cash money moolah to pay for our big infrastructure expansions. It's going to be a big task, but I feel like we can do it. So, guys, welcome back to another episode. If you are enjoying the series so far, please make sure you smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. Guys, don't rely on the recommended tab. Subscribe to be notified. So, what does this mean then? It means that I'm going to actually start within this vicinity. Now, we know right now that we are exporting to Mexico food and cigars. Now, if I can somehow transform this here into a little bit of a mini distribution export hub, that would be fantastic. If I can try and implement a station there, what I can then do is replace these two vehicle lines with a train going back and forth. It will only be a small train. It won't, I have to make sure that it's cheap because it will get quite expensive pretty quick. But I can export the goods in bulk because right now our vehicles are not shifting them for the requirements that we need. It also means that we're not bringing back the food and the cigars in bulk to make sure that our ships are always full. Now, if I can do that, what that then pretty much sets me up to then do is then start thinking about exporting or moving or delivering the goods to our towns via trains as well. Pino del Rio, San Cristobal, and Havana all require food, to which we are producing food down here. We have many levels for it to level up, so then I can then hook it up to the train line and it continues. I know it's a big challenge, it's a big ask right now, and I'm gonna need a lot of money, but I think this could really transform our products. I can then deliver more food and cigars, Mexico can get more food and cigars, we are upping the shipments. So where do we start then? Well, we're gonna start over here, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the road at a 90 degree and I'm going to implement a train station here. Now, we're probably going to need an end platform one, and all I need to make sure it does, it touches both of the industries. Now, if I make it super long, I say both the industries because you never know whether we're going to use oil, but I'm going to make it super long because, oh, do I need to make it that long? I think this long is fine. I can always extend it in the future. Make it long enough. This is cargo, isn't it? That's passenger. Right, I need cargo, guys. Make it long enough that I can obviously have a bunch of cargo on the platform. I'm going to drop two down. I can have one designated for pretty much dropping off the food, or sorry, the grain and the sugar. And I can have one designated to then delivering it back. Vice versa. Who knows? Or we can make them share. Yeah, we could also make them share. Right, let's drop this off here. Boom. That is now implemented. It touches both, so if we ever want to use oil, we can. Now, what we're going to do then is we're going to bring this train line up to another train station here. Now, what that's going to do is hopefully touch both of these industries, and we kind of needed to make it touch the harbour. I'm not too worried if it doesn't touch the harbour, because I'll move the harbour over here so it's a little bit closer. So I'm not too worried about that. I just want to make sure that it touches both of these. And then what we'll do then is we'll have a train line that picks up the sugar and the grain that does get dropped off and takes it to the food plant, and a train that brings the food back to drop off to the harbour so we can ship it out of here. And then we'll try and integrate a train line that picks up the tobacco, which takes it to the cigar factory. Yep, this is going to be very, very interesting. So I'm actually going to delete this road to begin with, because we're going to have to pretty much end up repositioning it. Which I don't know whether to kind of bring it down this way as a connection, because I'm going to be getting rid of the vehicle runs anyway, so it doesn't really make much difference to whatever I do anyway. So for this then, we are going to have to incorporate a bunch of train stations, or platforms I should say. So I don't know whether to start with 4 and kind of go from there. And obviously the placement of it is also going to be quite an interesting one. So I reckon what I do is, if I bring this down to about there, and if I bring that going across, I could use that as my marker point for additional train lines. Yes, this could work, and I can always add in more platforms going that way in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete you, delete you, delete you, delete you. I'm going to delete this to about there, and I'll rejig the road in a little bit later. I'm going to place this as far back as I can, but I need to obviously make sure that it connects. So let me see what I can do here then. Can I add this in with a little bend? A little bendy-wendy, boys? Right, if that went there, how far can I go before I lose? So we just lose, right, the sugar plantation as I move from here, but I can always add in the extra building as a connection. So I reckon if I drop that there, right, I know we don't touch this at the minute, but by adding the additional cargo building in, we should be able to, right? Does it now touch? It now does. Now, it doesn't touch the harbour. Again, don't worry. We're going to move the harbour over here, but that now touches. So we're going to lead these 2 train tracks there, going all the way down into here to begin with. Right, I've not got much money remaining right now. I told you this is going to be expensive to try and transform all of this. Very expensive, but it will work out in the long run. So while I wait then, I might as well get the road back in. So that kind of bends there. We'll bring this going somewhat straight-ish. Or should I bring it back a little bit? It's a tricky situation right now. On how I do this. Should I just kind of bring it down to a little bit of a beach run? I don't want to ruin the beach or the aesthetics of this beautiful paradise that we are creating. But if I bend you around there, I could see myself probably deleting this road again in the future, but at least I've got the road back in. So if I do need to utilize vehicle connections, we still kind of can to a certain extent. Right, I'm now technically in minus money, so I've got to wait for a few deliveries to take place right now, and then for us to extend the train line. So this is going to be kind of exciting, boys. This really is going to be kind of exciting. So we'll utilize these 2 here, bringing down, obviously. Now, if I wanted to deliver food to the cities, I think I might actually pick up the food from here to drop it off there, because it's easy to extend this platform than having trains run from there through this to the towns. So we'll probably bring them all to here anyway. That's not a problem. That's not going to be a problem right now. So I could then save them 2 there for it. So if I added an extra platform there, that could be the one that then turns and goes up to the cigar factory. Ooh. This is exciting, guys. This is going to be exciting right now. So let's see how far we can ultimately take this then. So I'm going to start with the outer train tracks, as that's probably going to be the easiest one to work with. Run you all the way down. Very good. And at some point, they're going to meet these. So how far do I take this before we meet the bend? I reckon I'm going to bring it to there. Now, we ain't got to worry about the crissy-cross roads on here because eventually these train lines are going to completely replace the vehicle runs, so it doesn't really matter. Now, do I allow them to be able... We're not going to have more than one train on these lines, so I could do crisscross so they could share platforms, but at the same time, we don't need to. It's going to be one train going back and forth, so we could stay on its line, and we don't need to kind of transform it to do anything else. So if I was to create a new line and go from here to here, right, this could be renamed to become our Peter. Hold on. Peter, Dow, Rio, and we'll name this grain / sugar train. I know that was quite a mouthful, but we got there in the end. And I know it's going to be different cargo or carriages. So that's why we need a second one to run alongside it. And this will become our food. So we make this one look like the color of food-ish, kind of. I mean, they're both going to be almost the same, aren't they, to be honest with you? There's not going to be much of a difference. I think I should have flipped them around, but that should be okay. That should be okay. And we're only going to have one train, so I don't need to do crissy-crossies to allow them to share. They can just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, no problems. Don't need signals. It should be pretty simple. Now, to be able to do this, I can instantly start delivering the grain now, and I can bring the food back, but nothing's going to work unless the harbour touches. So before I delete it, I think I'm just going to build a new harbour. And hope that this is obviously all going to connect. So if I bring you to there, we're going to have to do some landscaping. So shipping-wise, cargo harbour. Yeah, we're going to have to landscape this a little bit back. So the flatten tool. Right, bring it into there. I got to try and see if I can get a flat surface there so it aligns pretty nice. And you know what? That's not bad. I'll take that there. Hold on. We almost got it in for a second. I'll take that there. So if I zoom out real quick, so I just want to double check and make sure. Okay, it touches everything I need it to touch. That's perfect. So do I just move it along a little bit, or should I just... I might just edit the building myself. So bring you to there. Nice. And all I've got to do now then is just change this. Manage the line. So rather than going to this port here, right, we add it to go to this one and then get rid of this one. So, yes, it destroyed the product, but it is what it is. Right, get rid of you. And just because it will annoy me, I need to spend the money right now to terrain this just because it's going to annoy me. Right, there we go. Trust me, guys. It's the little things that really, really annoy me. Right, that's now all connected. That's perfect. That's perfect, but I feel like we need to change this name here to the port name. Because I did like the port name. Potty. How did that happen? Port. There we go. So that should now be on the port. Yeah, it's now renamed port. Nice. Right, sweet, sweet, sweet. So that's all transformed. That's all now connected back up again. We're back in business. So all we've now got to do is switch out the vehicle lines for trains. Now that's where the money is now going to be spent. It's going to be so expensive. So expensive right now. So first things first, we'll get the train depot down. So I'm just going to place it there. And then we'll connect it up to the train tracks like this. We'll add a little double switch there so they can utilize both sides. We're good to go. I just now got to buy the trains. So we will get a refund for deleting the vehicles. So this is the downside though. These vehicles right now, they're able to pick up the grain and sugar to deliver to the food plant, and they're also able to pick up the food to deliver back down to the harbour. We can't do that on the trains because we're limited on the carriages. So when it comes to cargo, right, the gondolas carry the sugar and the grain, but box cars, I believe, is it the box cars? Bring the food back. So that's why we need 2 separate lines. But it does mean that we can then do it in larger quantities. I'm just going to make sure that my grain and sugar train is twice the size or twice the capacity as my food train, because it's a 2-to-1 system. It is a 2-to-1 system. So I'm going to need a few more pennies, which means I need the boats to kind of hurry up right now. So let's have a little bit of a fast forward, boys. A little bit of a fast forward right now. Let's try and get some movement on the go. Where's the passenger train, by the way? The passenger train is just here. That's all now fully loaded up. So we just got to wait a few mementos. So like I said, we'll start with the grain and sugar train, which we go to Steam. I've got to make sure it's cheap, okay? Because if it's not cheap, because it's such a short distance, we'll lose money instantly. So I don't know if let's go to the Borsig or stick with the General. I think we might stick with the General. Damn, that's expensive. And then cargo-wise, we're going to need gondolas. So are they all the same price? So this, rather than by type, let me do by capacity. So the 2 high-capacity gondolas, they're the same. There's no difference. It's just this one here. Is got an extra 10 years lifespan. Now, if I added this on, 7 capacity, I'm going to need to spend a solid 1 million just for a 21 capacity. Now, it means I won't be able to delete the road vehicles straight away. It will just complement it. But if I added a train on delivered more grain, this will produce more food, which means the vehicles will go back more full, so the vehicle line would technically make more money until I initially get rid of it. Holy smokes, I'm telling you boys, I've had a taste of trains right now, and now I just want to dive into trains. But it's expensive. It's so expensive. Right, a couple of deliveries now all dropped off. Very good. Very good. So how is the money situation looking right now? Now, I've just spent 1.8 million investments, which meant I lost a grand total of 260,000 big ones. So if I don't spend the money, we're actually doing pretty well with making money. So I don't think I should be worried, because my income is definitely increasing. It's just I spend it as quick as I earn it. I do spend it as quick as I earn it right now. So it is a little bit of a waiting game, unfortunately. Where is the passenger train now at this point? It's shooting its way down the hill. I could think about adding an extra carriage to this to obviously make it make more money. There's a fair few people waiting there. What about at both ends? Yeah, there is room here to add an extra carriage onto it. So how much would an extra carriage be? Now, this is going against what I'm trying to accomplish right now. Is this carriage? That's a different carriage. We don't technically have that carriage anymore. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I just hold my horses for a second. Hold my horses. Right, it's only bringing 10 grain back right now. We need to increase the grain coming back as well. That's quite important for us. Right, passenger train coming in. This is where it makes its most amount of money. I think it's about 300 grand it might make now, right? On this delivery coming back in. No, 238. It's all dependent on where they pick up the bulk of the passengers. Right, I don't want to have to get another loan because I've already borrowed 6 million. I might have to borrow another million right now. I will eventually pay it back, but I can't sit here twiddling my thumbs. Right, the General. Cargo-wise, gondolas, we go for the longer lifespan one. And we'll do a 20 Oh, I could almost afford a 35 capacity. There we go. Oh, yeah, bam. I've done it. I've got a 35 capacity. Right, the grain and sugar train is now implemented. So this means now then it will throw more onto this, hopefully. As it all gets placed on, boys. And we've got to hope right now that this makes money. I can't afford for a line at this stage to lose money. It doesn't go back full, which is fine. Because I know then whatever money we make now, we know we can make more. So this will slow this down for a second until the whole system's replaced with trains. But off it goes, boys. Off it goes right now. And we're checking finances. So we got to figure out how many carriages does it actually require to be a profitable line. Right, dropping off. 141,000 big ones. Oh, okay, it's beautiful. So we're just going to hope that it makes money in the long run, because now technically it goes back empty, which is quite sad. But that's okay. So now we've got more deliveries coming in of the goods. It means we produce more food, which means the vehicles are more likely to go back with 5 food. But I've got to keep increasing that. This is the one that I've got to keep adding carriages to. So this should now go back technically full. So it chose to take back a full load of sugar this time. So finances right now, it's to the point where it's about to break even. So this should be a big delivery coming in right now. This is where we should see what it currently makes. I think we might need to add an extra carriage to it though. So now technically the line is losing money. We'll have another big payday coming in just a moment. But yeah, an extra carriage should make a world of a difference. Right, in it comes. Bam, 159,000 big ones. Let's go. So is that enough right now to manage this and edit it and to add in the extra gondola? I can afford 2. So I'm going to go for 2 more. We'll go for 2 more. So this is now upping the revenue dramatically at this point. So we should now be getting more food being delivered back. As this produces more food. But not every vehicle will still leave completely full though. We got to find that nice little balance. So finance-wise, in its first year, it made a profit. So I think that's good. I don't think we got to worry about that for some time. Right now, it's now just trying to get us in the position where we've earned enough money to be able to then buy the food train. But the more I think about it, the more I'm realizing this train's got to be quite big before we can get a food train in. Because the food train will be so expensive. Right, nice, another little delivery coming in. So, do I now just keep editing this as we trickle along? A 98 capacity, is that a crazy number? Let's edit the train for a 98 capacity. that's just gone huge dramatically, hasn't it? And let's hope that this is able to have the pulling power with 98. It looks like it's going to be okay. But you can see it is now struggling a little bit. So finances on this then, 98, should be pretty good. So it means I can get now a train in half the size of that to start picking up and dropping off the food. Yeah, that really does struggle. It's now at 30. I think that's its top speed, right? So this is now about to drop off. So it has lost money this year so far until this delivery comes in. Of 98. Bam. Nice. Okay. That line's fine. That line's fine. That line's going to make money. We don't need to worry. So now we're producing lots of food. So now that's coming in, we're going to need to, of course, buy the food train. And then once I get rid of that line, the vehicle line, all these goods here will naturally get put onto the train station. So we always have a lot available for the train. Right, okay, this is working out very, very well for us. We've got new compartments coming in right now for the passenger trains. Ships are coming in, dropping off 70 grain. That's a lot of grain right there. Bam. That's what we like to see, boys. And let's see then. No, I think we need 1.4 million, don't we, to buy like the first variant of the food train that I would need. And the ships are awkwardly spaced out right now. So we'll eventually have to kind of get a few more ships in to get more movement on the go. Yeah. Right, we're getting there though, boys. We are getting there. There's another 70 grain coming in. We are getting awfully close now to being able to buy that food train to replace the vehicle run. Okay, I think we can do it now. So buy the train, steam, the general. We don't have long left, I don't think, before we no longer get to utilize the general. And then the boxcars, no difference apart from one lasts longer. Although that one is longer. They're both the same weight, so we'll get the one that lasts a little bit longer. So it's a 98 capacity on the other train. I'll do 35 on this one to start with. So buy you and put you on the food line. So I'll give it a minute or two until it's in full swing. Actually, do you know what? I think we were able to get rid of this now. So this sugar route right now. Manage the vehicles. I could, in theory, throw all the vehicles on the cigar line. Just for the sake of them still technically being utilized. Yeah, let's put it on the tobacco line. Right, it's a lot of vehicles to throw on that. I can now get rid of the line. It's a lot of vehicles, boys, on that line now. Yeah. But until I can replace the tobacco line, it makes sense. Rather than sell them, we can put them to good use. Right, so all the food now produced gets put on the train station, and for the first time ever, we're now going to upgrade the food factory. I'll put it back into normal play mode right now. We don't need to zoom too quick at this point. Very good, very good, very good. So that'll have a lot of food ready to be delivered. This is only going to bring 29 back. So that's okay. All the tobacco will now get picked up and dropped off. There's a lot of goods here, so we can make the train bigger. We can actually now make the train bigger and also think about making the train more powerful because we can afford a more powerful engine at this point. But this is a lot of stuff, right, that we are doing. So we kind of also need to hold fire a little bit and not get too out of hand. Now, if I wanted to ship the tobacco up and then bring the cigars back, this is something that I haven't really thought about. Do we need different cargo stuff? So gondolas don't take tobacco. What takes tobacco? Is it a boxcar? It is. Oh, okay. So yeah, the boxcar does both tobacco and cigars. Okay, that's sweet. That's sweet. But the only issue for that is, right, it's the same system where it's a 2-to-1. It's 2 tobacco to 1 cigar, which, I mean, it's such a short distance. I don't think we need to worry too much about all of that, to be honest with you. So that does 45 right now, where this can only... Oh, this was doing 32 full. Sorry, it was doing 30 full, but 43 empty. Yeah, we really need to think about changing the old engine on that one. But it's okay. No stress right now, boys. No stress. So this would also mean we are now delivering more cigars back as well. It's just their problem is they got to crisscross over this. So they're kind of hindered to a certain degree, but it should be okay. Right, there's only 10 grain left, but there's enough there to fill that train up, I think. Is it a 35 capacity? Yes. So these little things right now should mean we're making more money. So on the charts, the income, which dropped, has now skyrocketed to our new high point. We got a new high point right now of 4.2 million in income in a single year. Very good. Now, once we can afford the tobacco cigar train, we can replace all those vehicles, unless I move those vehicles somewhere else that we could also find handy. I mean, I could start delivering food to Pinar del Rio until I get the train line there set up. So that's also a possibility as well. But do we need to build more ships? I don't think we need more ships yet. I don't think that is the case. Actually, it could be the case just to increase the rate of deliveries. That could be very, 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 very beneficial. Right, that is super slow, isn't it? Right, let's think about changing the engine now. So, no diesel, no electric yet. That general is 80 grand. Let's just round it up to 80 grand. 130, tractive power 40. Now, the Borsig is worse, so not you. We've got a lot of Russian-class trains right now. This here, nah, it's better power. Let me go by running costs right now. So the general's here. The Russian class there is that's a little bit better. That's a bit better. That's the same. That is more power, but speed is less. We might need to... This Russian class here might be a good one. It's then almost double. That's more than double, but the power's a lot better. I might use this Baldwin, or... It's got better tractive power. It's 70. Right, we'll go with this Baldwin class. So that's going to cost me 600 grand to replace. But it should now be a faster train. I say faster. What I mean is it should have more pulling power. So the acceleration to get up to speed under full load should be a bit better. I could have added a second train to it, but I want to keep it to singular trains. We'll see how we go. Right, another beautiful delivery about to kick in. Vehicles are going across right now. Things are going great. And this should eventually start producing more cigars with its more deliveries. So do I now make them able to unload and load at both sides? That does now make sense. So unload on both sides. So we increase the rate of drop off there because we do have them utilizing both, well, all four sides here. Which is great. And then off it now goes. So if I fast forward then, this is able to get up to speed a lot quicker, obviously, when it's empty, but a lot quicker than before. So would you look at that, boys? Would you look at that? Right, I want to see this fully load up, and then I want to see its pulling power after. Alright, loads up. Yeah, it does. It is a bit better. Still not perfect, but... Oh, that's up to 30 before the crossroads already. So quickly. Right, so what does that top out at then at full load? It's currently at 40 kilometers. 42. 43. Would it get to 45? It does. 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Oh, it got to 50 before he had to slow down. Right, that's good. We'll take it. We'll take it, and hopefully that doesn't mean that we start... No, we're not going to lose money. We're all good. We're all good there. So let's now look at trying to do the cigar route. So I'm wondering then, we're going to save these two here for trains going out. So I'm going to add an extra row of tracks on this side. And it's going to be one train like these current routes. But can I bring... Okay, I can bring that down. I'm going to bring that just to there. I'm going to bring that out. And then can I swoop this in? Yes. Okay, that worked out pretty perfect. Now, we just need a simple singular train station. I'm going to go for a 160. It's going to end up replacing that. But I do have the option to kind of bring it further back. But I feel like having it up there is good. So do I have enough money? Do you know what? I have the money right now, right, to get rid of this line and be able to build the other line. But I think I've got way too many vehicles on this line. So let's first get rid of some of the vehicles. Let me just grab and manage the line. And let me grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to put those 10 vehicles first on this line. So we're just going to redistribute where the vehicles currently are. Rather than selling them to begin with, we can just kind of then move them around. Now, I could then set up a food line to go in. And that means we'll be producing more. But that'll put more pressures on me than pretty... How much food is over here, by the way? No, it could work. So if I built a truck and load stop. So truck and load stop. And let's just pull it... Actually, we could use the same one, couldn't we? Yeah, we can actually technically use the same one. So if I create a new line that went from there to there... And this will be my Pino del Rio food. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. That's fine. So food. And then move a lot of the vehicles onto that. From this line. So manage the vehicles. We'll grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put them onto that food line, which is this one. And those remaining 10 will go onto the fruit line. So we're no longer going to be producing cigars until this train line is implemented. We've got an extra 20 vehicles going onto this line here, which I don't know whether that's going to be a good idea or not, but I'm going to make... we do utilize both sides. Should be okay for now. Rather than sell the vehicles, I can just repurpose them. Right. Very good. So now I could get rid of this. So that can now go. Which that line no longer exists. So manage the line, delete the line. It's gone. That line is now gone. And instead we put a little train station down. So we're just going to drop you there. And then my train tracks, which will run up with this road. And I get you to bend to meet us in. Just like that. Sounds simple, right? Sounds simple. So just working out in my head right now, I've got to build the line itself. Let me just get rid of all of this. I've got to build the new line right now. So that will be from new line here to here. We'll make it the color brown like cigars. And this is our Pino del Rio. This is our tobacco. I think that's how you spell tobacco. Cigar train line. So then I've got to enable it where we can cross over into there. So what I'll do is
I'll build that to go like this. But then have you run into there. Just do that so I can eventually get the other trains added in. And obviously you're going to have to wait for that train to pass before I can pull this out. And I think we'll go with the Baldwin class for this one as well, because we're going to add quite a few carriages to it. So it's got to be a boxcar. Let me just double check. Yes, it is. And how many can I afford before I can't afford no more? Okay, I can afford a 28 capacity. Right, we're going to have to keep adding more to this. We're going to have to keep adding more to that as we earn more and more money. So if I was to edit it now and add another one, it costs 200,000 a pop. So I've added an extra 2 carriages now to it. So it now means the tobacco gets dropped onto there. As it all touches. So we've completely transformed this whole area now, which is going to set us up beautifully for more exports and more money being earned. So I think that could be slightly flat. I think we'll be okay. This has got 35 tobacco on board already. And I've got to wait for all of these vehicles right now to figure out what is going down. So the food line then, let me just make sure that in the exchange here, it's able to utilize all the platforms. That will get them through it a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. There's no food to deliver yet because the train hasn't dropped off. That train's now skirting up the hill, if you can even call it a hill, at 50 kilometers. Which will drop off 35 for them to start producing. Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting, boys. So hopefully the production numbers do get increased. So food dropped off. I'm assuming, right? I think it got dropped off, but I think it got dropped off here versus over here. Is this delivering any of these vehicles delivering anything at the moment? Has it had any food delivery? I don't think so at the moment. It is food it can accept. I just don't think it's dropped off any food yet for it. Well, that's on the way back down right now. So finances, it's already made some money, but we do need to add more carriages to it. So 1, 2. Oh, sad times. Actually, can that drop off before anything else? Come on, come on. Bam. Actually, there is room to add another one on. But we'll just go and do it how it is. Yeah. I'll wait for it to come back again. We'll just wait for it to come back. Right, anyway, boys. 56 it can now carry. And while it's dropped off, how many cigars? It's bringing 15 back at the moment. Right, slow progression, boys. Slow progression, but we are getting there. We are getting there. Right, food train's on the way back. We're not ready. Oh, actually, do you know what? We might be ready now. Just add an extra boxcar or 2. I'll add 2 more boxcars to that. We are going to have to think about changing the engine on that as well, as it does become a little bit more heavier. But it's all happening. Hopefully there's food going to get dropped off here and there's no issues with this line. Because that line will be losing dramatic amounts of money. Yes. Okay, it can drop off, but it's only dropped off 2. But that's got nothing for it to suck up anyway. There's a lot of grain now here, so it's just finding that balance. It's just finding the balance of how and what capacities these trains need once we've got the revenue. Because we are struggling for cash again, but that's only because I keep spending it for expansions. But once we've got the balance, we'll have the right amount of goods being delivered, and every vehicle will then be full. So this vehicle run right now will struggle for a while. It will struggle for a while until we've got the quantity being delivered. Right. This, finance-wise, is profitable, but we do need a few more. It's about to drop off now. So this makes money both directions. There we go, delivering those beautiful cigars. And that will now produce a lot more, so it will make even more money on the way back. Right, good stuff. This is now going to drop off again. So I think this is the train we need to add a few more to. Right, I've added 4 more gondolas. We'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on, boys. But we do need more food deliveries. This has got 49 now on the way back. So eventually I could add the crisscrosses in and allow them to utilize, with signals, multiple trains. But it is such a short distance, so it might be a little bit difficult. It's just make sure we got the capacity on the trains. Having the train capacity is fine, as long as the engine's powerful enough to pull it along. Which, when it's empty, seems to be okay. Seems to be okay. We just got to find that balance again. Right, this is about to drop off a load of food again. I wonder how many goes to this platform. I could also get rid of a few vehicles so there's not that many wasting money. Okay, there we go. We got a lot of food now. We got some food now being dropped on, which is good to see. That's loading up. The cigar train right now, finance is looking fairly healthy at the moment. More cigars to produce. This is now bringing back 28. It's all happening. It is all happening. So wow, we've had a record income of 5.49, but it should drop off right now, as this line should be the only line, that vehicle line right now, losing money. Which we understand why it is losing money. And we're okay with that at the moment. So this can carry 49. We'll see if we can... Oh, we can't really edit this at the moment. No, nothing's really dropped off for us to edit it. I'll see if I can quickly maybe try and attempt to. I'll add in, see if I can add in one before it stops off. No. But the grain train's about to stop off again. So I'll see if I can get 2 on as this one there stops off. Right, there we go. So that will pick up even more food because this is now delivering more grain. So it's a nice little circle right there, boys. Nice little circle. We might, like I said, we might have way too many vehicles on this still. There's 30 vehicles. Do I just get rid of 10, or should I just try and repurpose 10 somewhere else with like another new line? That could be a possibility. That could be a possibility. Because it's hindering this, the amount of vehicles coming in as well. It's slowing down how much we can ultimately make there. So I might just get rid of 10 vehicles on this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then sell these. So there's only 10 on that line. How many's on the lemon line? There's 40. Do we run out? I feel like that could be a little bit too many. I'm going to get rid of 10 on this one as well. It's more to kind of fan it out a little bit so there's not that many vehicles causing congestion. I could space them out and have different, and have an actual truck and load stop and get them to utilize platforms. That also could be a possibility. But there we go. Manage the vehicle. 1, 2, Bam. I've added 2 more on just before it stopped off. Fingers crossed it utilizes them all. Alright, it's now got a 70 capacity, that train. So is this now getting more goods? Oh, it's hard to tell because we deleted the previous one. Yeah, there's more loaded coming in, and we're starting to get more unloaded. So yeah, we're increasing the goods that are being transferred. Right, that's got a capacity of... What was it? 63? Right? Let's see how many it picks up. Yeah, 63. So not quite the 63, but this has got a capacity of... I gotta make sure that this is double the capacity of that, otherwise the balance doesn't work. So that's got a capacity of... Oh, it does. It actually does have a double capacity, so that kind of works on the balance, because it's a 2-to-1 system. But if I technically allow it... Oh, look at the difference in speed. Right, I was going to say, if I technically have this have 1 more carriage, we'll always slightly be producing more. Now, are the finances okay on this? I think the finances are okay on this, to think about editing it and changing it from that to the Baldwin here, right? Was it that Baldwin? It was, wasn't it? Yes. So change that so it's a little bit faster, but I'm going to add... 2 more carriages there, just so we're always producing or always having slightly a little bit more, so that train, it kind of builds up a backlog of food in the background. All right, that's dropping off then, boys. There we go. That drops off a bunch of food there as well. And now we've got 27 cigars coming back in. So these ships should always be going back full. Okay, that one's not quite. In between deliveries, guys. We're in between deliveries right now. Yikes. But they should be going back full consistently anyway. With the quantities of deliveries that we've got coming in. We've just got to, you know, still wait and still circulate right now. Right, is that line losing money? Not yet. The cigar route, Mexico cigars, where's that? It's because of the ships. We need to increase the rate of ships because there is a brief moment where there's no deliveries to Mexico. They're not spaced out correctly, if that makes sense. But so far, so good. So far, so good, boys. So good right now. We got a lot of goods that do need to be delivered. So it's just a case of keep adding on to this. The cigar one would be pretty nice to keep trying to add more vehicles or carriages to it. So we'll then increase this capacity right now. We'll increase this up to a... We'll try and get it to a 112. I just need something else to deliver. Right, we got the food coming in. See if we can do it before it makes its way back. Right, I can see the food train now about to drop off. Right, that's about to drop off there. There's a ship coming in as well at the same time. Bam, there we go. So, large capacity. So we'll be delivering more of that tobacco. Right, okay. So all we've got to do now then is make this food line become profitable. It's started to make some money, but it's just a case of we just need more food being delivered. And it's just finding that balance of getting more grain and stuff delivered over here. Which, bigger train is doing its job. It's just time, you know. Takes time. But I could also reduce more of these vehicles. because we don't really need to be growing this too much straight away. But this could also do with... This will level up soon as well. So if this leveled up, we're laughing all the way to the bank. See, we're not quite fully maxing out that train just yet. We'll get there. Don't get me wrong. We will get there. And maybe having that additional train is probably going to be the way forward. But at the same time, once you unlock larger gondolas, higher capacity, we can resort back to one train. So I think we'll just hold out for one train. It's not the end of the world right now. It's not truly the end of the world. Right, so let's think about now me stopping the spending. Because if I stop spending it, we'll be making and having lots of money in the bank. Because we've had a record income year, our previous year at 6 million. And this current year could rival it. If I'm being honest with you, we've actually, without creating any really new lines, apart from the delivering the food in here, which is technically losing money, it's the same lines, more efficient with trains, and they're now making more cash. So I think this is exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed right now. To earn a bit more revenue. It's just now trying to make them more efficient, then be able to carry more goods, so the ships are always going back filled to the brim. So 70 on that one, 70 on that ship now heading back. There's a delivery of cigars about to come in right now, so the next ship will have 70 on, and the ship after that will have 70 on. I'm not too sure on the other ships just yet. But other than that, this line here is not far off from making a profit. So we're ultimately just waiting for the odd delivery to come back in. There we go. It's now officially making a profit. It's officially making a profit. But okay, now it's losing. Now it's technically losing. Will it now make profit on this next drop-off? Now it's making profit. But we need a proper truck and load stop here. We need a proper one all set up. Right, boys. What a fantastic, episode right there. We made a bunch of progress, which has increased our production in Cuba, ready to start exporting more goods to Mexico. This has been fantastic. It's been a very, very expensive investment we've done. We are on a new year, but did we break our previous one was 6.04. This was 6.05. This had a record income year. I've just got to learn not to spend as much and eventually slowly start paying off my loans. Guys, if you did enjoy this episode, please smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. But until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.